Growl, growl, prowl, prowl. Hello everyone, I am the Lion of Truth, and today I have a very special video for you. Now, I just want to let you know that you have read that title correctly. I truly believe in my heart that the subject I'm going to talk about today will hopefully open your eyes and your mind to the truth that I have seen. I'm very passionate about today's video, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to bring you my review of one of the best Dark Souls games that you've never played. Yep, and that game is Nioh 2. Now, before we really get into the video, I gotta give you some background on my experience with From Software and the Dark Souls series as a whole. Now, I've been hearing about the Dark Souls games for a few years now, just through word of mouth, people online on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, people talking about it, but I never got into it, okay? I always kind of thought, I never really looked up gameplay or anything like that. I just heard about it through the grapevine, and I always just kind of figured that it was like a hack and slash game, just a game where you press X a bunch of times and you swing your weapon really fast and then you win. That could not have been further from the truth, and I'm so glad that I ended up getting exposed to the franchise. So what ended up happening is I was at home, this is years ago, I'm looking for games to play, for something to do, and I remember my younger brother had a couple PlayStation games, and he would let me, play on his PlayStation a little bit for PlayStation 4. And I looked, and I wasn't interested in any of the games he had, but I saw this one box that he had, and it was called Bloodborne. And I will never forget it, looking at that box, and I was like, this is interesting. I like scary games. I like intense games. This looks creepy. It's got the word blood in it, right? Little did I know that I had just opened up a door to a world that I never knew existed. He never even played the game. Like, he just buys games. I don't know what's his deal. He just buys random games. He never even ends up playing them sometimes. And that was one of the ones he never even played. Like, I don't think he ever played it ever. So I played it, And I think I got to, I forget the name of the boss. I got to the electric wolf, the guy who was all like white with the blue electricity. I got to him. Then I had to leave because I was moving out of the house. I was leaving, getting my own place, far away, thousands of miles away from home. I was moving at the time, so I didn't get to finish it. But it opened me up to this world of intense action RPG, hardcore games with brutal difficulty, unforgiving difficulty, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. I was like, okay, I gotta get myself a PlayStation, I gotta get myself Bloodborne, like, it just had to happen, right? So a couple months after I, got settled in my new place, I had a little bit of money, the little money I had left, I went out and got a PlayStation 4 Pro, Bloodborne, and boom, played it multiple times. You can check on my channel, I got multiple playthroughs. I didn't get to label them correctly because I was in such a rush of transitioning and everything. It was just a terrible time really in my life. But they're all up there. I mean, most of it's up there. It's on my playlist on my channel, my YouTube channel. But yeah, the game was just incredible. I loved it. Bloodborne, you know, it opened me up to this whole new world of these games I never knew existed. Then I was like, oh wow, so these guys also made that other franchise that I've heard about called Dark Souls and Demon Souls, you know? And I wanted to play them, and I still do to this day. However, I haven't. That's a disclaimer. I have not played the Demon Souls game, or I haven't played any of the 3 Dark Souls games. I played Sekiro multiple times, Bloodborne multiple times, and both Nioh games multiple times. But the reason I haven't played the Dark Souls and Demon Souls is 2 reasons. One, I want them to get upgraded as far as the resolution, and I want the frame rates to get upgraded. I want to wait till, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Then I'm going to get all those games. You mark my words. Hopefully they remaster some. I've heard Blue Point Games is going to be working on Demon Souls, which is the same company that worked on Shadow of the Colossus remake, which they're an incredible up-res company. They are fantastic, tremendous at what they do. They're great. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing through Demon Souls and Dark Souls, all of them, and then I'll really be able to have a truly fair comparison. But as of right now, I've played Sekiro and Bloodborne, which I think gives me a pretty good idea of what From Software is all about, and I love them to death. But I also wholeheartedly believe that Nioh is on equal footing with those games. Literally on better in some levels, worse in some regards. But overall, when you take the whole package together, put it all together, Nioh is right up there, can stand toe-to-toe with the best of them out there. I truly believe it. So, yeah, I love the Bloodborne, love Sekiro, got it on day one, beat that game multiple times, also on my channel. And it's interesting because in between all of this, Nioh came out, okay? Back in 2017, Nioh showed up. And I didn't play that till after Bloodborne, before Sekiro. I was playing Nioh. And I remember in the beginning, it took me so long to get into Nioh. That's one thing I need you guys to understand. If you're about to play this game, or you have it, or you stop playing it because you didn't like it, I'm telling you, you're probably going through the same thing that I went through. And that was in the very beginning for the first, I promise you, 25 hours. For the first good chunk of my first playthrough of Nioh, I wasn't really into it. I was like, it's okay, it's good, it's got good combat. It's Team Ninja, the same guys that made Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden. Dead or Alive series. I love both of those franchises very much. And it just seemed very complicated. There was so much to read about, so many different items, different things, and I couldn't wrap my head around all of it. There was all this stuff on the screen, and I just didn't understand. So I put it down for a little bit, and then I ended up coming back to it when I was getting ready for Sekiro and actually finishing it, and then really falling in love with it and starting to understand the mechanics. So I promise you, if you played it a little bit or you feel like you're not into it, it really opens up the more you play and the more you understand. The depth is incredible. The depth is absolutely mind-boggling when you get into it. And it's deeper than any game I've ever played, personally. Deeper than Bloodborne, than Sekiro, deeper than anything. The amount of different things you can do in the combat and the speccing of your character and the customization. It's mind-blowing, and I will get into it, I promise you. This is going to be one of my longest videos ever, I can already tell. I've been working my butt off on this thing, honestly, this is the most work I've ever put into one of my YouTube videos. Literally, the most effort into any of them. And I'm not exactly sure why. I just have this strong passion and feeling inside my heart that I need to make this video. I need to get it out there to the world to show people what a masterpiece this game is, what talented developers Team Ninja are, and just spread the word so that they get some love, in society and in the marketplace, because they're not, and it makes me so sad. But anyway, going back to the game, these are games that you can pick up and play them, but they're not things that you can pick up and understand. So what I mean by that is, you can pick it up and start playing and swinging your sword. You got your light attack and your heavy attack, yeah. But in order to really start to understand and wrap your head around the game and its concepts, you need to go so much deeper than that. And it will take you a very long time. As I mentioned earlier, it took me, dozens of hours to get into the game. And then it was only after my first playthrough, after 70 plus hours, that I really feel like I started to understand the things that were going on, It just keeps opening itself up. It's like an onion, right? There's so many layers to it. You just keep peeling back all these layers of the minute gameplay changes and tweaks, and it's like a rabbit hole. You don't know when it's going to end. So just to give you a little bit of background on Team Ninja really quick, and if you are, still hesitant, they have so much respect for From Software, for the Dark Souls games, for Bloodborne, Sekiro. You know what they did, you guys? Talk about honor and putting aside your pride and your ego. Hopefully I'm going to put footage up here in this clip, in the video. Hopefully you'll see it. Team Ninja went to Sony headquarters, to From Software Studio, and they talked to the producer who helped create Bloodborne. And they showed him the game, and they got feedback on the game, and they got advice from him on the game. That's how much they love these types of games. That's how much they love the art and the medium of making video games. Team Ninja, they're making a game that's like a rival to Dark Souls. And what do? They go to the company, they go to From Software, they go to the Bloodborne producer himself, sit him down, and have him play their game and get direct feedback coming right from his mouth. I mean, talk about putting your ego to the side. Talk about bending a knee and bowing to the people that you know are superior and your mentors. I mean, dude, that is so respectable, man. You can't have anything but respect for Team Ninja for doing that. Say what you want about Nioh or anything. That is honorable. To go to your competitors and say, look, we know you have the best product out there. We are making something similar. Can you give us some advice and help us so that we can make a better product as well? It's admirable, man. It's so admirable. I love it. And then whenever you purchase a product or you spend your time doing something or you engage in an experience, let me give you a little piece of advice. There are 3 main currencies that all of us humans have. We have, you are spending 3 things when you engage in an experience, okay? The first thing you are spending, obviously, is money. The second thing you are spending is time. How much time are you actually spending with that product, with that experience? Then the third thing that you are spending is your attention. So even though you're spending time doing something, say you're just grinding something over and over, the same mission in some game or whatever, even though you're spending time with it, how much attention are you truly giving to every facet of the game, to every little minute detail? How much attention are you paying to unraveling the layers of the product that you are involving yourself in, okay? So why would you waste, in my opinion, a single one of these 3 very important currencies on trash, on garbage? Why would you waste them? Why would you play games like, Fortnite or these indie mobile games, with pay-to-win loot boxes? Why would you waste your time, your money, and your attention on pieces of garbage? The way I look at life is if I'm going to engage in something, I want it to benefit me in some positive way. And when it comes to video games, I want it to benefit me in the most positive way. If I'm going to sit down and play a game, I want to make damn sure in my heart and my mind that I'm thinking, is this a Game of the Year contender? Could this game win Game of the Year? Is there a possibility? And if the answer is no, if it's not even going to be on the list, why? I won't even play it. Why would I? Why would I waste my time with anything but the best of the best? So this year, 2020, guess what games I'm interested in, right? Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Nioh 2, Doom Eternal, Halo Infinite, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima. These are all games that I believe have potential to win Game of the Year, or at least be nominated. So they are the games that I will gravitate towards. They are the games that I will seek out. Last year it was Sekiro, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Kingdom Hearts 3. These are the games that I look at a year before when I know they're coming, and I'm like, yep, these are the games that I want to buy next year as long as I have the money. I don't have any money this year in 2020. I'm so broke because of the pandemic and everything, and I have no money. But I got Nioh 2, and I'm probably going to get Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us. That's all I can afford. I can't even afford anything, so I can't play any of the other games I really want to right now. But point is, don't waste your time playing garbage, you guys. If you're going to spend your time doing anything, you should think to yourself, is this going to be one of the greatest games ever made? Is this going to be a game we can look back on 5, 10, 20, 100 years from now and be like, yeah, that game was spectacular. It paved the way for this new generation of artistic expression. If the answer is no to any of those questions, you should not be playing that game. I don't understand why people do. It makes me so sad. So The problem with Nioh 1 was it came out in 2017, and you know what it was competing against for Game of the Year, guys? I don't know if you remember, two small little games. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, okay? Both of which were on Game of the Year, the list, and Breath of the Wild ended up winning. Zelda won Game of the Year 2017, so poor Nioh didn't even have a chance, you know? It was a brand new IP, a brand new title from Team Ninja, who hadn't made an action game in like 10 plus years, so yeah, it didn't get the attention that it deserves. And it still doesn't get the attention that it deserves, and that's part of the reason why I'm making this video, to spread some of that love and passion that I have for it so that hopefully more people can get into it. So yeah, I have about, 100, I believe it's like 135 subscribers at this time when I'm making this video. If you're here still watching this at this point, please subscribe, like, and comment, because it would mean a lot to me. I'm just trying to grow, man. I'm trying to grow and conquer and build an empire, and it's hard to do all by yourself. Let me tell you, it's really hard to do, especially I've been doing this for like 4 years, uploading like every single day. I don't get any views, I don't get any traffic. It doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know. So I'm just trying to grow, guys. I would really appreciate, I'm trying to grow. I would really appreciate, a sub. Thank you so much. Okay, so moving on. Let's get into the actual review now. We are going to go over the list, the overview of the things we're going to be talking about. I have 5 main topics here. This video is going to be 30 minutes. I don't know, maybe 45, close to an hour. Who knows? 5 main things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the story and, the events that took place in this game. Obviously, it's part fantasy, but it does have a lot of history to it, and we will get into that. It has a lot of accurate history and things that went down in Japan, and it's beautiful, the things we're going to speak about when it comes to the story. I love the story. People downplay it a lot, but I absolutely adore the story. The cutscenes are spectacular. Then we're going to talk about the sound, obviously. We're going to talk about the audio, the way the weapons sound, the way the enemies sound, all these different types of things. And we're not going to forget about the music. The music is going to be involved with the sound. Oh my God, the music in this game, I love it. There are some truly remarkable songs and score pieces in this game that will just get your blood pumping, get your heart racing, make you feel happy, sad, aggressive, angry. There's so many good pieces of music in this game, and we will touch on some of them, and I'm going to be having some of those pieces of music playing throughout this entire review, so hopefully you guys will get to hear some of my personal favorite ones. Then we'll talk about the graphics, obviously the way the game looks, the way it runs, resolution and things like that, the tone they were going for, the atmosphere and all that good jazz. I think it's a great looking game. The PS4 cannot handle it, personally, in my opinion, though. I kind of wish that this game and all of them, I wish they all got delayed to PS5. Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, I want them all to be on PS5 because PS4 is too weak, man. It's a great console, I love it, but it's too weak to run these badass games. Number 4, we're going to talk about the gameplay and the depth. Oh my God, guys, that's where we're going to spend probably most of our time. The gameplay and the depth is stupid. It is just ridiculous. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's unlike anything I have ever seen in any game ever. I can't even begin to tell you how crazy deep that rabbit hole goes. It's literally, it's like a black hole, how many things you can do and the different perks and stuff. We will get into it, I promise. And then the last thing we're going to discuss is the purity of this game, of Nioh and Nioh 2 and Team Ninja. The purity in their hearts, the purity in their minds, the purity in their expression and their artistic creations, you guys. There are so many, so much greed going on in the world, especially in video games today, and people lying and cheating and genuinely like stealing from kids and their customers, lying about content that's coming or that didn't come or should come. And it's just despicable what some of these companies are doing. And I'm happy and proud to say that Team Ninja is not one of them in regards to this game. I know there's been some controversy with Dead or Alive, but I truly don't believe that's coming from Team Ninja. That's probably coming from the publishers, that are the suits at the very top that are pressuring the developers to put in the microtransactions. All right, so starting with, let's get into it, right? Starting with the story. Basically, to summarize the story, long story short, you are a half human, half yokai. You can create your own character. That's another great thing about this game, by the way. If you're into character customization, you are going to love Nioh 2, okay? It has the most in-depth character customization that I've ever seen. I played it on Elder Scrolls, Fallout 4, I think a couple other games, Bloodborne, that have character creation. I've never seen anything like this before. The amount of detail and the minute changes that you can make is just mind-boggling. I ended up making a guy for the demo. I made this cool guy who was really badass, but what happened was they gave you a code when you made your character, and you were supposed to use that code to bring it over to the main game, and when I got the main game, I couldn't bring it over. I tried typing in the code I had. It just didn't work. It was glitching, so I ended up making a girl, and I'm actually happy. I'm more happy with the female that I made. You can check out my playthrough on my channel. I love the girl. She was absolutely drop-dead gorgeous in my opinion, and just beautiful, very sexy and attractive as well. So yeah, you can create your own character. You know, that's where it starts, but the lore of the story in the game is still the same, right? You're either a guy or the girl, whatever you want to make. You are a child of both a human and a yokai, and basically the yokai, and this is true, like in Japanese lore, yokai are what are known as like they're spirit-like entities, you know, and they were believed to reside in all things, all objects, all animals, you know, all things that exist in the world. They were said to possess emotions and different personalities. So if the spirit, it could be peaceful or evil, right? If it was peaceful, it was said to bring about good fortune, good luck, bountiful harvest, right? It could protect you from evil. And if the spirit was violent, it could bring about ill fortune, right? It could bring about sickness, natural disasters, bad luck, these types of things. Man, I love Japanese culture and their way of life. It is so interesting to me, and something I want to get into later in my life. As long as I can earn money, man, I want to take a nice trip out there and spend some time in Japan. They have such rich history, and I just want to be involved and learn about it. But yeah, so basically, like, many different English words have tried to be used to translate the word yokai. Sometimes it's translated as monster or demon or spirit or goblin, but it can encompass all of these things and more. The word yokai, it also includes ghosts, gods, transformed humans, animals, spirit possession, urban legends, you know, strange phenomena, paranormal activity, things like this. All of this in Japan culture could be contributed to what they would call yokai. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a broad and vague term, and nothing in the English language exists that can quite describe it. And I love that, you know, I love that. The fact that they have these spirits out there that they believe in, and they can be good or bad, and they can literally inhabit and live inside of objects, you know, everyday objects, things that we use all the time. So basically, they also believe that your intentions, right, that emotions and feelings can literally take bodies and take shape of themselves, of their own form. So hatred, despair, anger, resentment, these can all literally form demons and spirits that take a tangible form. Isn't that incredible? I know us in the West, we are so outside of that realm of possibility. You know, people don't believe in ghosts and demons and things out here in America. And I'm totally open to all that stuff, man, because, you know, I have a scientific background, but my heart pulls towards all these things that I can't really understand or can't explain, and I truly believe that they exist. Just because we can't explain them or understand them doesn't mean they're not real. So I love learning about these different cultures and their beliefs, especially when it comes to paranormal things like that. So imagine, you know, you have all this hatred or animosity towards someone. Those thoughts and negative emotions theoretically can, like, inhabit an object or a thing, you know, a tool or a weapon, and take shape on its own. And just to think about that is mind-blowing to me. It's crazy. I love it. You know, whereas America, what do we talk about? Our depth is like, oh, we have a gun, let's shoot this person, pew, pew, pew. You know, that's it, I hate you. But the Japanese take it so much further, and I respect them for that. Okay, so anyway, you are like what's known as a shiftling. You're a half-breed. Your mother is a yokai, and your father is human. So they get together, you know, they get married, and then they have you as a kid, and you are half and half, right? So half your blood is human, and half your blood is of the yokai, which is incredible. And basically the story is you are trying to go and hunt down the killer who came and I think killed your mother. I don't know if the murderer killed your father as well. I think so. and then you're going to, hunt him down throughout the game. You meet this guy, what's his name? Tochichiro, I believe. And you ended up forming your names together. You follow this guy around for a while. You serve under Lord Nobunaga, and you end up forming your names together to become one person. Which is really in the lore, in the real Japanese history, there was only one guy. His name was oh my gosh, Hideyoshi. That was the name, Hideyoshi, right? So that guy served under Lord Nobunaga, but in Nioh 2, they split the Hideyoshi into two people, right? Into the character that you play and then this other character that you follow around. I think his name is Tochichiro. So, really cool stuff, and it's just about, serving under Lord Nobunaga and then hunting down this yokai who murdered your family. So the game also deals with this currency known as anima, okay? And anima comes from an old word which means breath or spirit or life. And basically, anima is the belief that objects, places, and creatures all possess a distinct spiritual essence, okay? So this can be all things. Animism perceives all different things. Animals, plants, rocks, rivers, weather systems, human handiwork, and perhaps even words as animated and alive. So words can be alive, rocks, rivers, they can all have their own spirit, their own thoughts, their own will, their own desires. How beautiful is that? The term anima is saying that everything has an essence to it. Everything has a vibration and a spirit and a sense of life to it, even a rock. And I love that because I totally believe it, because as far as science is concerned, everything is radiating light. And to me, life is light. It's like the closest thing I can think of, right? And everything on this earth, everything in the universe, it all radiates light. How much light, at what spectrum, at what frequency, that's all up for debate, right? Everything vibrates at different frequencies and different oscillations and different wavelengths, but it's all light. It's all the same thing, Colors, that's all colors are. That's all anything is. It's just radiation at different frequencies. And I love that. So, yeah. And basically you gather this anima, and I'll talk about it in the gameplay more, but you gather it, and then it allows you to use some of your spiritual abilities, some of your yokai abilities, which is, that's incredible, right? Okay, so moving on. Oh, wow. We're already at like 26 minutes. My God. Okay. Moving on to sound. The sound and the attention to detail in this game is just marvelous. It's marvelous, you guys. From changing stances, the different weapons sounds, the attacks, the way the enemies sound. There's this one enemy that it looks like a normal human, and then when you fight it a little bit, its head just grows like a worm, like 20 feet up in the air, and the crackling sound that it makes as it grows is so disturbing and unsettling. The breathing that some of these enemies, make, the breathing sounds when they're kind of far away, but you don't know where they are, but you can hear them, the walking, the footsteps, the blood splatter sounds, when you're killing an enemy or fighting them. It's just the slashing of the flesh and the dismemberment. It's all so brutal. It's visceral. The game sounds incredible. When you're putting away your weapon, if it's covered in blood, your character will fling the weapon really quick to flick off all the blood, and it'll splatter on the ground, and you can hear the splat as it hits the surface, and then they fold their weapon and put it away. It's just, the attention to detail is great. The sounds when you're seen, when an enemy can see you, it makes this weird sound and it just alerts you. The shrines, how you can hear the shrines off in the distance. Like the audio cues in this game are just great. You're running around, you're looking for a shrine, which a shrine is a save point essentially. You can save, you can upgrade, you can micromanage your character. Shrines are what you want to get to. They're like bonfires from Dark Souls, okay? Or lanterns from Bloodborne. Or the statues from Sekiro. They're the things you want to get to, and you can hear them from a distance. I don't know if you can hear I don't know if you can hear the bonfires in Dark Souls. I don't know if you can hear them in Bloodborne or Sekiro either. But you hear them in Nioh. When you're running around, you hear these they're the kodamas. They're these little benevolent spirits. These little green spirits are called kodamas. They're so beautiful, and the sounds they make are like little, I don't know what I would call them, little chirps, little pops, like little whistles. They make these beautiful little noises, and you can hear them from a distance, and that lets you know as you're progressing, you're like, oh, I'm near a shrine, I'm near a safe point. That means you hopefully are close to making it to a safe area. And it just, the audio cues, it tells you where you are, where you've been. I love it. I love it. And let's not forget the music. Oh man, the music. As you're probably hearing, hopefully if I did this video correctly, you're hearing it right now, the music in this game is top notch. It does have some old tracks from Nioh 1, but Nioh 1 had great music as well. But it also has a lot of brand new, never before heard tracks in the score. And it's great. It's just great. Simply great. You know, the kodamas, when you find them throughout the level and you talk to them, they make this happy little sound, and then they go back to the shrine. Like, you have to guide them back to the shrine because they're so small. They're like these little spirits that are like 6 inches tall, and you just got to take care of them. It's so adorable, man. I love it. And when you die, by the way, when you get killed, and you will get killed lots of times in this game, I promise you that, the sounds of like your bones crunching and the weapons slashing through you and destroying you, it's brutal, man. It's nothing but brutal, I promise you. All right, moving on to the graphics. The art style is gorgeous. I think the art style is great. I love it. As I mentioned earlier, I really wish that the game would have been pushed to PS5. You know, I don't believe the PS4 can really handle it, because what happens is right now, there's 3 modes you can pick. I believe it's action mode, movie mode, and variable mode, if I remember. You want to play on action mode, let me tell you right now. It's because it's 60 frames per second, pretty much the whole time. You don't want to play on the other ones. The other modes, they increase the resolution, which is good, but the frame rate stutters and gets really choppy, so the game is just like a slideshow. It's not playable. But the graphics are good. I just wish it was higher resolution. The art style is great. You know, the attention to detail on the textures, on your weapons, on the armor and the characters, and some of the environments is just, it's breathtaking. You got to sit there and it's awe-inspiring. You got to look at it and be like, wow, you know, this looks beautiful. It's just a gorgeous game to look at. The lighting is very good too. With Nioh 2, they added, I believe, HDR, right? The high dynamic range. And if you put that on, man, the light when it's coming through the trees and coming through the bushes and like cascading across your character and their weapons, it looks great. It really does. And not to mention, one of my favorite parts, the women. The women in this game are beautiful. I love the way they dress. I love the way they talk. I love the way they move. The animation for them is so meek, so gorgeous, so beautiful, sometimes very terrifying. Oh my gosh, there are some women in this game, make no mistake. They will kick your butt, man. They will destroy you. They are scary and brutal and strong. But God, I love the female design. Team Ninja's always been good with the female designs, right? The costumes. My one hope and my one, sadness is for the girl, since I made a female, there's no armor pieces or anything or clothing like that that's really made for a girl. Most of it's just like for guys. It looks like the armor was created for men. So I hope that Team Ninja leans in with the DLC. They got 3 DLCs coming, hopefully, in each one of them, all 3, I want them to add more and more female armor, female outfits and clothing and things like that are more designed for a girl, because as of right now, there really isn't any. And my fingers are crossed. My hope is, God, I want them to bring some of the Dead or Alive outfits over, all the Dead or Alive games, including the extreme games. Bring the female clothing articles, bring them over and put them into Nioh 2 so that we can run around as those beautiful Japanese girls, kicking butt and killing demons and sending them back, putting them to rest. Please, Team Ninja, if you're watching this, please add that. So yeah, game looks great. I just hope it gets up-res to 4K and 60 frames on the PS5, because that's what it deserves to be run at. That's what it deserves to be played like. Nothing less. Nothing less. All right, we are finally here to the gameplay and the depth. Oh man, so many things. So just in a nutshell, this is some of the stuff we're going to be talking about here. The 3 different stances, the weapons, the Amrita, the soul cores, enemies, the respawn, enemy variety, key pulses, magic and ninja skills, yokai shift, anima and the anima gauge, having 2 different weapons at once, skill trees everywhere, skill trees all over the place, combos within different stances, combos for certain weapons, combos or active skills that are actually attached to those combos. Then you have passive skills that are attached to those active skills that add different effects and bigger damage. I mean, the amount of stuff is incredible. And don't worry, we're going to get into it. You have, so starting at the most basic, you have your ranking up in your leveling system, right? We all start, I believe it's level 1, you know, and you kill enemies, you gain XP, good. That's Amrita. It's this gold currency that floats to you. Reminds me of the currency from Ninja Gaiden. It has even the same sound as it flies to you, just like Ninja Gaiden. And it gives you experience points, right? Then you spend those experience points. You can buy weapons and armor and things like that, and you can buy items with it, or you can use it to level up, which I recommend doing for the most part, is using it to level up. But you can allocate your resources as you see fit. So when you level up, you got your, all the stats that you would think about. I'm going to hopefully pull them up on the screen here so you can see. I don't have the game on right now. I'm just sitting in front of my computer, but I'm just thinking by memory. You have your health stat, you have a magic stat, a ninja stat, skill, courage, like a key regeneration, making your key longer. Key is stamina, by the way. Key is like the same thing as stamina. It's very, very similar. You have all these different things. You have equipment weight. You can get your weight up so that you can carry heavier armor and not be bogged down. You have all these different things that you can rank up, right? And you can spec into any ones that you want. I love a high key build. I love having lots of key so that I can, do lots of attacks, get that recovery up so that as attacks come back, my stamina comes back, and my character doesn't get tired, so I can keep attacking, because I love playing fast. I love playing all my games fast and nimble. It's just how I've always been. I'm not really one for huge, slow, bulky moves. I do those things sometimes, as you'll see, or as you do see if you watch any of my gameplay in my videos. But most of the time I like being very quick and stylish. It's how I like to play. So then, so you have these equipment weight levels. Going on to the next point, the equipment weight levels is I think there's 4 tiers, right? At the lowest level, if you're wearing no armor at all, you can have your tier is blue. You're in blue tier. It's like the A tier. It's like A, B, C, and D, right? A tier is blue. If you wear a little bit of armor, then you go into B tier, which is the green tier. Then if you wear a lot of armor, you are into the C tier, which is yellow. Okay, so you're going to move slower. Your attacks are going to be slower. Your dodging is going to take up more ki, more stamina. It's going to recover slower. Everything's going to come back slower, right? But when you attack, it's going to go away faster, so you're going to get tired more quickly. Then if you wear a bunch of armor and it's way too heavy for you, you will go into the D tier, which is the red tier, and I never suggest anybody ever go in there. For most players, I think they'd probably want to be in B or C. I like to play in the A tier because, like I said, I like to play fast. So I die quick, right? If I get hit a couple times, I'm dead. I'm dead 1 or 2 hits. But most people probably don't want to do that. So I would recommend to, especially the new players, B or even C tier. You want to have some armor on you so you can take some hits and still get out of the way. But never go into the red, because if you go into the red tier, yes, you will be able to take hits, but you will be out of stamina and out of ki instantly. As soon as you get hit or dodge or do one attack, you'll be out of stamina, and then you're going to get your butt kicked because you can't move when you're tired, when you're winded. You can't move for 3 seconds. So never go into the red tier, ever, okay? That's just my advice on that. All right, so getting into the weapons a little bit. Oh, man. There are, what I believe, 9 different weapons. Let's see if I can name them, right? You got your sword, your dual swords, tonfas, which are these two sticks that you hold, one in each hand, like clubs. You got your dual hatchets, which is 2 mini axes. I love that. You got the switchglaive, which I also use. The hatchets and the switchglaive are the ones I use, which is like a scythe. Just picture it like a scythe. It looks kind of like the Bloodborne beast glaive. It's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. It's got different, what is it? Not just different stances, but different forms. The blade will take different forms depending on the stance that you're in. It's amazing. You got your spear. You got your odachi, which is a long sword. You got an axe. Big ass axe, and then the Kusarigama, which is like a chain. Picture a chain. At the end of the chain, there's a little like sickle, like a little knife. So you can just like slice people up with this chain and like spin it around and like a lasso, except it's not a lasso. It's got a blade at the end of it that slices people. So that's really cool. So you got like 9 weapons, okay, to pick from. You can have 2 equipped at any time that you want. I played the whole game. Nioh 1, I used the sword, and I used dual swords for my first playthrough. And then the second playthrough, I believe I used a sword, and I used the axe, the big axe on my second playthrough, because I wanted something heavy that hit hard. And I love both playthroughs. I'd actually probably preferred the axe playthrough. I really liked it a lot, looking back on it. Then in Nioh 2, I wanted to do something completely new with weapons I'd never tried before. So I opted to play with both the 2 new weapons, which I ended up loving and I thought was a great choice. Dual hatchets and the switchglaive. The dual hatchets can hit things far. You can throw them. You can throw them like 5 different ways to throw your hatchets. There's all different abilities on how you can throw them. They go different ranges. They look different. They have different styles, and they do different damages. The throwing of the hatchets is great. And then you have the switchglaive, which has its 3 different stances and 3 different forms as well, which has a short range, a medium, and a somewhat long. It's great. It's great, the versatility. So I'll keep saying the word stances. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about if you're only familiar with Souls, or if you're familiar with anything except Nioh, you're not going to understand what I mean with stances. You have 3 stances, okay? High, medium, and low. It shows how you hold and attack with your weapon. So let's say you're in high stance. You have your own moveset that does a lot of damage. They're normally slower, and they take more ki, more stamina to use. Then you have your medium stance, which is the best of both worlds, right? It's not too fast, not too slow, pretty decent damage. And then you have your low stance, which is the fastest, right? You can move really quick in low stance, dodge a lot. It doesn't use much ki, but the only negative really is that it doesn't really do much damage. Low stance is kind of pathetic with damage, but I love low stance. And you're supposed to play Nioh by switching between these stances, because like I said, you have all those 3 stances. Each stance has its own combos for the weapon. So, there's 9 weapons times 3, 27 different, combos just for the stances and the weapons. Then you have combos that when you can attach those together, the stances, you can start in high stance, be attacking somebody, then switch to low stance or switch to medium stance, and you do a certain combo. You can switch between the combos and the different stances while you're mid-combo, destroying things, and it looks beautiful. Then there's combos in between different weapons. Since you're holding 2 weapons, you can switch your weapons in between combos and still do different, that adds on combos to your other combos, and you're just doing combos for days, man. It is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. The depth is insane. And like I said earlier, then you have these special abilities that you can add on to the combos. So let's say you're in the medium stance with the hatchets. You're fighting. At the end of your combo, if you press, I believe it's triangle. For me, it's R2, because I changed my controls. I don't like the default controls. I believe if you press triangle at the end of your combo, your character will jump up in the air and then throw one of your hatchets downward into your opponent. For the high stance, if you add a combo onto the end of your combo, your character will be hitting them, and then it will stand completely still and be spinning the hatchets around in a circle like nunchucks, doing a bunch of AoE damage like right in front of you. With the bottom stance on the hatchets, if you throw a combo in at the end, you will do a spinning attack. It's called like the spinning crab, I believe, and your character will literally spin in a circle and lunge forward as they spin and like slice everything in front of them. It is just, oh my god, the depth, dude. And then at the end, you can add these passive abilities onto those active skills that I just mentioned to you. So while you're doing the spinning crab, or while you're up in the air throwing that thing down, you can add on bonus damage, lightning attack, poison. You can add on all these things to the end of your combo abilities and to the end of your combo active skills. I mean, come on, dude. It's too much, man. It's too much. It really is. There's so much to think about second to second, moment to moment when you're playing this game. I promise you, it'll blow your mind. You're gonna be like, what is going on? I had no idea. I thought there was just a light attack. Oh yeah, and there's a light attack and heavy attack for all of them. I completely forgot. For every weapon so that multiplies everything else by 2. Because not only are you doing you could be doing a light attack or you could be doing a heavy attack. Like, it's just, oh my god, I love it. So that's with the weapons. You get to try them all out in the beginning of the game. So try them all out, sit there, run around, see how they feel, see how they look, what feels good to you. Don't worry about so much, if you're trying to min-max or whatever, if it's your first time playing, don't worry about that. Go with the weapons that you are going to have fun with. I promise you will be able to get through the game with any of these weapons. They are all great. And you'll be able to get through. Just make sure you level up. They each come with a level to them or a stat attached to them. So the Switchglaive, it's attached to magic, so it scales with magic. So if you use the glaive, it's like a scythe that the Grim Reaper would be using. If you're using that weapon, you want to upgrade your magic a lot, because then your magic will increase in damage and stuff like that. And your weapon, your Switchglaive, will also increase in damage. If you're using the hatchets, I believe it's dexterity. So those are the 2 that I used throughout my playthrough. So, they all are attached to a skill. Just find the one you like, try it out, and then go with it. Don't worry too much about, oh, but this weapon scales just a little bit more with this thing. No, just pick the weapons you want and then scale with those damages. You'll be just fine. I promise you. And if you watch this video, you're going to learn a lot of stuff that, is going to help as well. And if anybody wants me to make some tip videos, I can do that. I can totally do that. I've been thinking about doing it. I would love to, but I've been so busy applying to jobs during this pandemic. Like, my life is in shambles. I meant to have this video out days ago, weeks ago, but I've been so depressed and anxious and scared and like, oh, it's been tough. It's been tough. But anyway, I'm glad I'm getting this done, doing it. I still need to go. I need to beat through New Game Plus, and I need to get footage for this video, actual gameplay footage of me fighting. I want to get some really sweet clips that I can show you guys for the beginning and the end of this video. I want to have some sweet clips of my combos and everything. Oh man. Okay, so moving on. Armor. Here we go. You have 5 armor pieces, right? You have your head, your helmet, your shoulder pad, your chest piece, your gloves, your waist, and your boots. Okay? So you got your 5 armor pieces. All of them have different stats. You can change the stats. By the way, oh yeah, we didn't even talk. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about. Yeah, you can change the stats on the weapons. You can. Oh, actually, okay, we'll get to that. Actually, there's a section here I have where we will get to that. But yeah, you got your 5 different armor pieces. You can choose not to wear the helmet. You can put the helmet on and it won't show up on your character while you're playing. They can hide it, like the game will just hide it. And I love that, so you can actually see the beautiful face of your character as you're playing, but still get the benefits of wearing the helmet, which is great. I wish you could do that with more armor pieces, honestly. So then you have accessories, which are kind of like just things that you could consider just like little charms. You don't really see them, but they're on your character. You keep them like in your backpack, or you keep them in your pocket. They add passive abilities. Okay, you can have 2 accessories equipped at any time. Then you have these things that are called soul cores, and soul cores are essentially literally the soul and the essence of an enemy when you kill them. Every enemy can drop them. Like, literally every enemy can drop a soul core for you when you kill them. It's these red glowing orbs. And basically, when you're carrying it around, if you pick it up from an enemy, it's still tainted with darkness, right? You need to go and you need to purify the soul core. All you need to do is just bring it back to a shrine and pray, and you will purify it. Then you will incorporate it into your spiritual being, thus gaining some of the ability that demon had. And you can attach up to 3 soul cores at a time onto your character, which are essentially little moves. They're essentially like little, demon attacks. They're not. It's not like swinging your weapon or anything like that. It's like, you'll turn into a flaming ball of fire and you can roll around the ground, or you can turn into a tornado and spin your opponents, or you can, what else? You can send a little monster that will attach itself to an enemy and bite them and give you experience points and health back when it bites them. Like, you can have another soul core, which is like a demon ability that rains down fire arrows from the sky, like, or one of them shoots a yellow laser beam around the map. Like, these are like these abilities that you have. they're attached to your character. They also each have their own passive buffs. Each soul core has its own passive buffs that are always active as you're playing the game. So that's even more, synergy that you try to get and unification with your character. Okay, they all come with their own passives. Then you can dismantle the soul cores. If you have a lot of them and you don't want them, you can dismantle them and you can get experience points from them to then go to your upgrade tree and upgrade yourself and upgrade your demon abilities further, which we haven't even gotten into, called yokai shift. So when you purify the soul cores, you can then use those abilities, right? And then your main demon that you have, it's called your guardian spirit. Since it taps into, the guardian spirit is a good yokai that taps into your yokai blood and allows you to literally transform from a human into a demon for a short period of time. And you can do some incredible moves during this phase. Your health bar, everything disappears. It's replaced by your yokai shift bar. It's just on the top left of your screen. It's a very colorful, beautiful bar. It will either be purple, blue, or red, depending on the guardian that you pick. There's 3 different types of guardians to pick from, but within those types, each one has like 10 sub guardians, so there's like 30 different choices. But for me, I only really like using the blue, the feral, personally. So my choice is limited. But if you can experiment, I totally think you should experiment. Check out the purple and check out the red. The red is more brutal and hard hitting and slow. The blue one's really fast. The feral, I love it. Then the phantom's kind of like a magic one. The phantom can teleport kind of and throw a spear long range. It's really cool. But anyway, you get this bar when you turn into the yokai, you turn into a demon form, and then you can run around just wreaking havoc for like 10 seconds on your opponents. And whenever you do anything in that form, the gauge will go down. If you get hit, if you dodge, if you swing, anything like that, the bar will deplete. So it goes away quick. You can upgrade it and get it to last pretty damn long though, later in the game. But yeah, so that's like your super ability. As you kill enemies, you get the XP, and when you keep gaining XP, the Amrita, eventually your Amrita bar will fill up, and then you can use your yokai shift, use your form. While you're fighting enemies, you also gain anima, which is the purple bar that you'll probably see underneath your key bar. Obviously, the key is the stamina. It's your green bar, right? The purple one underneath is your anima. So as you fight or get hit or something like that, you will gain the anima, which is essentially you will gain life essence from the demons, charging up your own demon cores that you purified, and that will then allow you to use those yokai abilities from the soul cores at your disposal. And you can have 3 equipped at any time, and you can use any one of the 3 as often as you want, as long as you have enough anima in your bar. And then you unlock skills that helps get your anima back when you attack with them, and it's just like this feedback loop of beautiful love. Oh my god, this video is going well over an hour. Incredible, man, incredible. So yeah, that's the yokai shift. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait. I just want to max it out. I want to have my yokai maxed out and my key maxed out, so I can be flying around, and then transform into a demon and wreak havoc. Okay, so yeah, so as I mentioned, like the guardian spirits you have your 3 different types, and there's all different animals. They all represent different animals. There's a snake one, a tiger, a bird, a pig or a hog. What else is there? There's a mermaid one. There's a turtle one, an elephant one. There's all a bunny rabbit, a fox, a wolf. There's all these different types of guardian spirits, and they all give you passive abilities and active abilities. They all add on these things. They all have their own, and you can have 2 guardian spirits equipped at one time, and you can switch between them whenever you want, and they will each give you different bonuses. The second guardian spirit won't give you all of its bonuses. It will only give you like 1 or maybe 2 bonuses. But if you equip it, then it will give you all of the active bonuses, and then your primary one will get shifted to its secondary. So like I said, each guardian spirit can have 3 soul cores attached. So you can potentially have 6 of these soul cores ready to go at any time, and you can just switch between them at the drop of a hat. You can also, this is something most people don't even know, no one even talks about it, because I've watched every Nioh review, I've watched all the footage on this game that I can get my hands on. I love it, I'm obsessed, I really am. You can switch between your guardian spirits mid-yokai shift. So let's say you're fighting someone, you're in the feral form, boom, 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 and then you have a brute form as your second guardian spirit. You can switch if you press I forget what it is. For me, I believe it's square and circle at the same time. I will switch and you will become the brute one or you will become the feral one, and then you will have a whole different move set and different, abilities. It's incredible, man. The amount of customization and player agency that Nioh gives is just, it's unmatched in anything I've ever seen in my entire life, personally. Like I said, it's too much. It's too much for most players, but I promise you, if you stick with it and you keep going, the game will just change your life and change the way you look at art, change the way you look and experience video games. And you'll be like, wow, everything is so dull in comparison to this, man, when you really get into it. Okay, then, to go even further, you have these things that are called Kodama blessings. When you go to a shrine, you can talk to the Kodama. It says, receive blessing. You talk to the little buddies. You can get one of 4 different abilities, like, that are just passive. I always choose the one that gives me 25% more Amrita. So that means whenever I kill somebody, I will get 25% more XP than I normally would. And that stays active as long as you're in that region. You need to activate it for each individual region, which is unfortunate, but it's not that bad at all because there's like 7 regions. So yeah, you got the Kodama blessing on top. I'm just trying to lay out these things and let you guys know the amount of depth and complexity that this game has, that it has to offer, and that most people have no idea about, and that it really deserves respect, man. Then you have clans, okay? You can join any particular clan that you want. This is all actually kind of run online, and I don't even have the online for PlayStation, but it still lets me connect to the internet for this particular purpose, which is great. I love how Team Ninja allowed this. You have your clans, and the clans give you, you guessed it, passive bonuses as well. So the clan that I was in, it gave me like more anima charge. So whenever I was attacking something, the purple bar would fill up like 15% faster. You can get all these different bonuses from your clans. I think each clan gives you 2 different bonuses, and you can change clans, I think, like once a week, whatever you want, you want 2 new bonuses, boom, switch it up. It's amazing, and then the clans, they have clan battles, like how many people are actually using that particular clan or, vouched to that particular clan. And then I think you get gifts from that. You get some XP, during the clan battles and stuff too, like once a week. Then you have teacups, tea sets, you guys, literally tea. In Japan, drinking tea is like a spiritual thing. It's like a really intense thing that people do there, man. Drinking tea is a big deal, and you have this guy who's like an appraiser. He will appraise your tea sets. You find the tea out, and when you're fighting, then you bring it back to him in the tea house, and he will look at it and he will tell you how much it's worth. And then what he'll do is he doesn't buy it from you. You can actually, actually he does. You can get glory for it. But you shouldn't sell most of them. You can keep up to 4. You should keep 4, and you can put them on a shelf. If you put these teacups on this shelf in a particular way, once again, it will increase different passive bonuses, like your luck, which is how often or how likely you are to receive, high rare items and stuff like that. I mean, there's the tea blessings too. Just the amount of things you can add is so ridiculous, man. Then you have one of like my favorite parts, the magic and the ninjutsu trees. These are where the game really, it's like the whipped cream and the cherry on top of the sundae. That's the magic of the ninjutsu trees. On the bottom left of your screen when you're playing, you'll notice you'll have this your shortcut menu. And you can have up to 4 of them on the bottom left. So if you scroll through from left to right, you can have 4 different things, each with 4 different abilities attached. So you can have 16 if you wanted, 16 different items. I never go past 3 because 4 is just way too much. But if you wanted, you could have 16 different abilities down in your, shortcut menu at any point. And you can use any of them at any moment you want during the game. I normally, like I said, I have 3. Sometimes I'll go down to 2, but mostly it's 3. I'll have 3. So that means I have 12 different things that I can choose at any point, 12 different extra things I can add onto my gameplay at any moment. So with Ninja, your ninjutsu tree, basically, you have all these different things. You have, backstab, where you can sneak up on people and stab them in the back. I highly recommend getting that. It's on the bottom left of the tree. You have shuriken, throwing stars. You have kunai, which are throwing knives. You have poison shuriken, so that your enemies get poisoned when you throw them, and then they take damage over time. You have fire shuriken, fire kunai, which when you throw them at an enemy, they explode and then light them on fire, then they burn over time. You have paralysis kunai and shuriken, where you can throw them and If you throw enough, they will stick to the opponent and they will paralyze the opponent. They won't be able to move. They will just sit there. You have all these different abilities in ninjutsu. It's incredible. You can shoot fireballs out of your mouth. You can shoot electricity out of your body. You can call upon geysers of water, like waterfalls coming out of the ground to, damage your opponents and trap them for a second. It's just, like I said, you can do all of these abilities, all these moves, anytime you want during your battle. All you need to do to replenish them, they are replenishable. They come back every time. You just gotta go save and pray at a shrine. That's it, and they come back. I hate games that have usable items. I really do. Like for abilities, like Sekiro. I hated how they did the little, I forget what they called them, little spirits, the little cross-like spirits. You had to gain those as a currency in order to use some of your abilities. So therefore, it discouraged you from ever using your abilities because you didn't want to run out of those little spirits because they were the currency. When you went back and saved, it didn't replenish them, and I don't like that. I love how in Nioh, when you use your abilities, oh no, you ran out, you just go save at the next shrine or at the previous shrine, boom, you get them all back. You get all your abilities back, so you're back on top, back on, with your terrible, terrifying powers that you have to destroy your opponents. So Ninja has a bunch of great things, but what I like as much, if not even more than the Ninja tree, is the Onmyo magic tree. This tree has some abilities that will rock your world. First of all, you need to have regeneration talisman. You need to get the talisman where it just constantly heals you over time. It's slow, but it's constant. So I totally recommend the rejuvenation one. Then you can get all these other ones. You can get lightning for your weapon, talisman, lightning talisman, water talisman, fire talisman, all these things. You put water on your weapon, you put lightning on your weapon, you put fire on your weapon, whatever one you want. And they all have different effects on the enemies, right? The lightning will slow enemies down. Fire will burn them. Water decreases, I believe it decreases their defense. So you can when you hit them, you hit twice as hard, or 50% harder. You have all these great abilities, man. You have a barrier talisman, which rejuvenates your ki. It gets your stamina back super fast. You can have all these different abilities on you at any point, and you can use them whenever you want, and then you just have to pray at the shrine and you get them back. And then you can micromanage these abilities. You can upgrade them so that you can carry more at once. Like right now I can carry 4 rejuvenation talismans. I could carry up to 5 or 6, but I don't need that, I like to use other things instead. There's a lifesteal one that I also like using. You throw it at an enemy, and when it hits them, anytime you do damage to that enemy, you take that damage and you put it into your health. It's so cool. There's an extraction talisman that I also like using. You apply it to yourself, and then when you hit enemies, you get more money. You get more XP than you normally would. So that helps me upgrade faster. There's just all these abilities you can do in Magic, and God, dude, magic and the ninjutsu trees, they're some of the best parts of this game in my opinion, man. Truly, truly, truly. Okay, so let's talk about upgrading. Now, we talked about a lot of the abilities and stuff like that. Now let's talk about actually upgrading all of those things. So, there's multiple places you can go for the upgrades. Shrines are one of them. In the shrines, you can obviously upgrade your level, right? Which is just, your different stats, your ki, your health, your magic, your ninjutsu. You can just upgrade those, which will allow you to carry more and to, do more damage with all those different things. Some of the stats will upgrade your main weapon. Some of them will upgrade your secondary weapons. Some of them will upgrade your ranged weapons. By the way, yeah, there's bows and arrows and guns in this game that you can shoot from afar. I never really use them, because I like to get up close and personal with my opponents. I will only use them at very rare occasions, But, yeah, so you go there, you can upgrade your soul cores. You can make the soul core stronger by fusing them together. Say you have multiple of one type of soul core. You can fuse them together and then make the previous one stronger, increasing its stats, increasing its damage and its perks that it has. That's where you receive your Kodama blessings, is at the shrine. You can rearrange your magic and your ninjutsu trees. You can, specify exactly where you want to put them on your shortcut. You want it to be on the first, second, or third shortcut. You want it to be on the top, bottom, left, or right. You can put all the things wherever you want. How many you want to bring. You want to bring 3 poison shuriken. You want to bring 5 fire shuriken. You want to bring 3 lightning shots where you literally shoot a ball of lightning out of your hands at your opponents. You want to bring 4 of those. Go ahead. Like, you get to mix and match. I think you can have up to like 35 points total in each one. So you can carry a bunch of stuff, man, around with you, like a bunch. And you can upgrade all those, like I said, so that you can carry multiple of each one. Because in the beginning, you can only carry like 1 or 2 of each, and then you upgrade them, boom, you can carry up to like 5 or 10 of certain items. It's crazy. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so that's, yeah, for the shrine, that's really all I can think of right now. Then when you go into the start menu, that's where you can upgrade your active skills, which are the things that, you know, you attach to the ends of your combos. You can put on different ones to the ends of your combos. You can change those around. Then you can put on the passive skills that are on those active skills, right? So at the end of your combo, like I mentioned with the hatchet, you say you jump up in the air, you throw it, then that's where you can go into the passive part of that combo and say, I want to put electricity on the end of that combo. So when I jump in the air and I do that active combo, boom, it will then give electricity status effect to my enemy. And if you have enough on there, it will paralyze them, essentially, make them very slow moving. They're very sluggish. All right, what else? Active skill perks. Then you have titles. I completely forgot. Yes, you have titles as well. So when you do things in the game, you earn, like, you know, different achievements. You kill 100 of these guys. You do 20 of this. Or you do this move 15 times. You get these titles unlocked. And when you get the titles unlocked, they give you permanent active upgrades or permanent passive upgrades. So the titles might be something like, oh, increases your max health, increases your max ki, increases your resistance to dark realm or the dark pools, which, by the way, are like these pools of black, you know, negativity, where, you know, where the demons have like a bunch of hatred concentrated in one area, and then, you know, you can do this thing in the dark pools called a ki pulse. And essentially, that's another thing. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I'm so far in. I'm over an hour in. I'm just talking about the ki pulse now. This is the one thing that separates Nioh. I'm talking about moment-to-moment combat. Besides all the abilities, just the moment-to-moment, like, dodging and attacking, how it separates from Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, my understanding is there's no way to recover your health or ki. Sekiro, same thing. You just gotta wait, you know. Or use a healing item. In Bloodborne, when you attack, if you get hurt, if you attack back within the first couple seconds, you can gain some of your health back, which is cool. Nioh does something just like that, but the opposite. It does that with your stamina. So let's say you're attacking and you run out of stamina really quick. There will be your bar will quickly glow white, and these blue little lights appear around the character. And if you press the button, the ki pulse button, which you can also put to dodge, which I totally recommend you do. I believe it's called like running water. You put it onto the running water perk. That means if you dodge right after you attack, it will literally instantly regain like half of the ki that you just lost. So essentially, you can be attacking like choo 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 choo, and then your ki's really far down, right? And then you ki pulse at the exact right time when the lights glow blue around your body, and it will instantly regain half of your ki bar. So what can you do then? You can keep attacking. So when you do it right, your attacks and your combos can kind of sound like this. It'll be like, choom, 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 shing. You got your ki back, right? Choom, 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 shing, choom, choom, shing, choom, choom. And then you're out of ki, you know, by that point. Then you have to wait for it to really all the way come back. But the ki pulse allows you to extend your combos pretty much like twice as long as you normally would if you can do it right. So you just have to be like, hit, 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 dodge. Hit, 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 dodge, hit, dodge, and you can hit, and then that's it. You know, you need to, then your ki bar will probably be spent, and you gotta wait till it refills. But as I mentioned, you do this correctly, you can probably double the length of your combos, as opposed to something in Bloodborne, Dark Souls, where you have to wait for your ki to come back. Sekiro's an exception, because there is no ki bar in that game. So yeah. Oh man, so much. So yeah, the ki pulse is vital. You need to master it. I suggest you just, once you unlock the ability in running water, I suggest you take 10, 15 minutes, just practice in a corner, practice on one enemy, hitting them, and then ki pulse to get the timing down. Because the better you do it, it's kind of like an active reload in Gears of War. Like the better you do it, the more ki you'll get back. If you do it really perfectly, you'll get a bunch of ki back. If you only do it a little bit on the timing, you're off a little, You're only going to gain back some of the ki that you lost. Whoo, buddy. Okay. So, then you have your titles, right? Okay. Then you have your skill trees. And the skill trees, for me, since I'm only using 2 weapons, there's 6. So technically what? There's 9, because there's 1 for each weapon. 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13 total skill trees. I'm only upgrading 6 of them. The 4 that you normally have are your samurai skill tree, which is just like your character's ability. Like everybody can use that one. You have the Shifling skill tree, which is your demon abilities. Once again, everyone can use that one, and they should. Then you have your ninja and Onmyo magic trees. Some people only use one or the other. I recommend you use both to the max, to the best of your abilities, because they are both spectacular trees. And then you have your 2 weapon trees. That's what I'm using, right? 2 weapons, switchglaive and hatchets. Now, there's going to be some pros out there, some completionists. They're going to play with all 9 weapons, and they're going to unlock all the weapon trees for every other, tool in the game. Not me, at least definitely not now. I'm sticking with the switchglaive and the hatchets, and I've maxed them out to the best of my ability, but there's still lots of perks that I haven't unlocked. I think Team Ninja's hiding them because they're waiting for the DLC. They don't want us to unlock everything right away. That's my theory, because there's still a lot of abilities that I don't have left, which makes me sad because I can't even showcase them in this review, which I would love to. But anyway, so yeah, and each weapon has its own skill tree, and then within those skill trees, there's skill trees for each stance. There's a skill tree for low stance, medium stance, high stance. And then there's like a universal skill tree for each weapon, It's on the right side. It's just incredible, man. The depth is just so mind-boggling, and it's like never ending. It really is. Okay, so then you're like, wow, that's got to be it, right? Nope. You wish, man. You wish. The blacksmith. The blacksmith, you guys. The blacksmith is where you go to upgrade things. Your weapons, your armor, your accessories. You can buy things. You can sell things. You can dismantle things. You can soul match. You can get discounts on the store. You can refashion your weapons, refashion your armor to make it look differently. You can remodel the weapon to make it scale with a different stat that you want. You got familiarity. You got inheritable skills. What are all these things? We can forge weapons. What do all these words mean that I'm saying? This is what you can do with the blacksmith, my friends. So, first things first, you can buy and sell stuff. Simple, right? You can buy and sell stuff. You can buy you can buy weapons, buy armor, buy accessories. Buy ammo, buy bow, buy arrows, right, for your bow and arrows. Buy little bullets for your guns. You can dismantle the weapons, break them down for parts. You can sell the weapons, sell your armor, sell things, whatever. Then you can create weapons called forging. You can make your own weapons, make armor, of varying levels. Yeah, the armor and weapons, they all come in different tiers, by the way. For those of you, RPG fans, right? They're all different tiers. You got I believe they go by colors. I think it's white, which is uncommon. Then you have yellow, which is common. Blue is rare. Purple, I think, is legendary. And then green is called divine, which is 5. And then number 6 is orange. It's called ethereal, I believe. And I don't think we're going to see ethereal gear, the orange gear, until the DLCs. Because right now, I'm on New Game Plus. I'm only seeing greens. I'm only seeing divines. And that's all I care about. So when I pick up armor and weapons, guess what? If it's not green, guess what? It gets sold or it gets dismantled, right? Because that's the highest gear in the game. I only want the best stuff. And on my first run, it was purple. So on the first run when you play, if it's not purple, in the very beginning, you want it to be blue, right? When you're first playing, blue, obviously. But as you get into the game, a quarter way, halfway through, only go for purple. So if it's not purple, you don't want it, because not only are the stats better, but more stats can come on the weapons and the armor. You can have, I think, up to 7 stats on your weapon and on your armor pieces, okay? So think about the possibilities. 7 different stats for each one. You have 5 armor pieces, 2 weapons, actually really 4 weapons. You can have 2 ranged weapons as well on your back at any time. A bow, 2 bows, two guns, 1 gun, 1 bow. It's crazy, and they each have their own stats, and you can change out those stats. It's called tempering. So yeah, you can forge weapons. then you can change the stats on any of those weapons or any of those armor pieces. You can change most of the stats. You can't change all of them because each weapon will have its own like inheritable or its own, you know, basic stat that it comes with. So if you don't like that one stat, you can't change it, then I wouldn't use that armor piece or I wouldn't use that weapon. But then you can temper it. If you like the main perk, but you're like, oh man, I want this to have some fire damage, or oh, I want to have more ki, you know, more stamina on this weapon, or I want to do I want my strong attacks to do bonus damage, you know, then you can temper that on. You can literally change specific individual perks on the weapons to your liking. Are you kidding me? Or onto the armor as well. It's crazy, right? It's just crazy. I think I mentioned soul matching earlier. I jumped the gun a little bit with that one. Yeah, that's upgrading the soul cores, you know, making them stronger, making their perks stronger and everything like that by fusing them together. If you don't like a soul core and you don't want it, you can put it to resting rights, you can dismantle it, and then you will get points that will go into your demon tree, like I said, the Shiftling tree, and that's where you can upgrade your demon skills and things like that inside of the Shiftling tree. Whew, buddy. Yeah, like I said, you can buy and sell, and then you can get these discounts, you can get these perks for the blacksmith. You can get discounts on how much do things cost, how much do you get back. You can get an increase in the amount that you get back, 10% bonus cash, you know, experience when you sell them a weapon or something. You can get 10% more. You can put discounts on depending on what kind of relationship you have with the blacksmith. You have soul matching, which is upgrading the weapon. So like, let's say you have a weapon at 100 and you want to get it to 150. You can take a 150 weapon that you have. Let's say you have an axe and you want to have your switchglaive get up like I would, right? Then I would take the axe and you can literally infuse it. You can soul match it into your switchglaive, and then your switchglaive will go up to that level. You know? It's crazy. It's awesome. Then there's this thing that's called inheritables. So inheritables are like I said, there's perks that come on each weapon, but sometimes a weapon will have another type of perk called an inheritable. That means if you soul match it with another weapon, you will take that ability onto that new weapon. So let's say you have this really cool axe, right? And it's got fire damage on it, or some kind of like plus 20 lightning ability that you like, or, you know, whatever. And if that's an inheritable, there's a little icon there. It'll be right next to it. If it's inheritable, you can then soul match it onto your switchglaive or your hatchets that you like to use, and it will take that perk with it. It'll take the perk and put it on your weapon. How awesome is that? So cool. And this is actually how you'll end up getting 7 slots, you know, all of your armor pieces, all of your weapon pieces filled up with perks in every single slot. You're going to have to inherit some weapons or some perks onto it. Then you have familiarity. What is familiarity, you say? Basically, it's how long you're using a weapon, your relationship with your weapons. And I believe some armor pieces end up getting it too in New Game Plus. I'm not sure about the armor, but I know all the weapons have it. All of them. Even the ranged weapons. As you have an armor piece or a weapon out, or whether it be a bow, a gun, a switchglaive sword, whatever, as long as it's equipped on your character and you're gaining XP and you're killing things, you don't even need to use the weapon. You will get familiarity. It will increase your bond with that weapon. You know, the way your character uses the weapon, your connection with the weapon will get stronger. And therefore, the weapon, since a lot of these weapons are, like we mentioned earlier, yokai, or they have yokai spirits possessing them, they will get stronger. Their abilities will increase. So instead of doing like plus, 5 strong damage, it'll start doing plus 7 and then plus 10, and you can max it up, I think, to like 999 familiarity. So you might have a plus 10, plus 12 where on your lightning or your fire or your poison, when you really started with like a plus 6 or something. It can go up. So that's the familiarity too, which you have to think about with your different weapons, your relationship with them. And let's say you have this really cool weapon, this really cool armor piece. This is one of my favorite parts, right? You have this badass armor piece, got all these perks on it. It's so cool, but it looks like trash, or the weapon looks like trash, or it's so basic and boring looking. It's got nothing on it. Well, guess what? Nioh's got you covered. Team Ninja's got you covered. You can do what is known as, not soul matching. We already talked about that. This is called refashioning. You can refashion the weapon to make it look like anything you want, or refashion the armor piece to make it look like anything you want. So my favorite armor set in the game is called the Demon Horde armor, at least that I've seen so far, and you can hopefully see it in the video and the stuff that I'm showing you today. It's like red, it's got these spikes on it. I wish I could change the color. You can't change the color on any of these armors. I wish you could. Maybe in Nioh 3. Or in the last DLC if we're lucky, but probably Nioh 3 if I had to guess. But you can't change the color, but you can change the way it looks. So I have these really good armor pieces, some of them, but I don't like the way they look, man. So what do? I refashion them to make them look like the Demon Horde armor. I don't like the Demon's perks, so I keep the perks I like, but I make it look like the Demon that I want. And you can keep that. You can do that with weapons too. So I got my weapons, my Switchglaive. They're all looking like the Seething Dragon. Hopefully I'll have, once again, footage of that on the screen. The Seething Dragon is gorgeous, man. It's terrifying. It's like purple. It's got like dripping purple and black, like smoke dripping off of it, and like, it's just beautiful. And the same thing with the hatchets. I love I think they're called the Barbarian hatchets. Love the way they look. I don't care for the perks, but I love the way they look. And I always refashion my hatchets so they look like that. So they also have the purple smoke and the black smoke surrounding them when I'm holding them. The hatchets look terrifying, look dark and menacing, but also beautiful. So yeah, you can make the weapons and armor look however you want. You can make your character look however you want, guys. Tall, short, big, small, muscular, thin, fat, whatever. The amount of customization in this game is great. There's a chest slider as well for you guys, who like females out there like myself. There's a chest slider. Thank you, Team Ninja. I wish there was an ass slider as well. I would have made both bigger if I could, chest and the butt, but I couldn't control anything on the butt, and I pushed the chest to the max. I did it as far as it would go. I love the way it looks. I really do. So, okay, and I think that's pretty much everything there. Yeah, the inheritable skills, we talked about it. I'm sure I'm going to forget a bunch of stuff, and, it's going to make me really sad, but I still have more to go. We're still going to be here for another, 10 plus minutes, because I got some other stuff I want to talk about, because we still have the fourth thing to discuss here, guys, and that's the fifth thing, the last and final thing, which is purity. I talked about it a long time ago in the video. Purity. What did I mean when I said purity back in the beginning? Oh, man. So basically, you got to think about it from a business perspective, okay? What is the goal of any business? Is it to make the consumer happy, to make the customer happy, or is it to make money? If you said it's to make the consumer happy, then you have a lot to learn. The goal of businesses is to make money, and that makes me sad, breaks my heart, but it's the truth, okay? So that's why you see in today's world, over 90% of games, I'd say 95%, they are all garbage. They are all garbage trash. Why? Because the developers and the publishers are not making those games out of the love in their hearts. They're not making Fortnite out of the love in their heart for video games and purity and passion and artistic expression. No. Do you know why they make that game and all those games? The little indie mobile games with pay to win and spinning loot boxes and gambling mechanics and casinos. Do you know why they do it? For money, you guys. It's not because they love you. It's not because they love the art. They love video games. They love helping people. No, they do it for money. Fortnite gets little children addicted to gambling and loot boxes, and creates a whole culture about it. And they milk people's bank accounts for it. They milk the parents' bank accounts, through the children. It's horrible what they do, man. So that leads me to my point. Does any of these great games that that I talk about in general that are on my channel, look at them all. Do they have loot boxes and microtransactions? No. Zelda, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Death Stranding, BioShock, Nioh, Spider-Man, God of War, Last Guardian, Shadow of Colossus, The Last of Us. Could all these games, including Nioh, especially Nioh, guys, got to think about it. It's such a small, it's Team Ninja. It's a new franchise. Could they have loot boxes? Could they have microtransactions? Could they have shipped the game broken? And just added a bunch of that stuff? And could they have made a bunch more money? You bet. Of course they could. Just like Nintendo could have done it with Super Mario Odyssey or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Could they have added microtransactions and loot boxes? Yeah, of course they could. And would they have made double, triple, 10 times as much? Of course they would. They would have made stupid amounts of money. But guess what? They have honor, they have pride, they have respect, they have love and passion in their hearts for the art, for the creation of making games, making something out of pure expression because you want to, because you have a desire for it, because they actually want to make good games. Those are the types of practices that should be rewarded here, you guys. And that's what Team Ninja is doing with Nioh and Nioh 2. It's pure passion. These guys have given us hundreds of hours of content. The amount of content that is in this game is ridiculous. You won't even get close to maxing out all the content before 100 hours. You won't even get close, you guys. I promise you. I don't care how good you are. The game has so much to do. There's so much, and it's for a fair price, $60. What you see is what you get. They could have done the loot boxes, man. They could have done the microtransactions and all that crap and just released a broken game and just made us pay for everything. And they would have made more money that way. You know it, I know it, and they know it. But in their hearts, they knew it was wrong. They knew it wasn't the right thing to do, man. Just like Nintendo, just like God of War did, Sony Santa Monica. They all know what they could have done, but they choose to go against that. How honorable, how respectable, admirable is that? You can't have anything but bow your head, but bow your knee to that. You can't have anything but honor for them. Seriously, you know? And you might be laughing or something and think, like, this isn't just about video games, okay? This is about human behavior as a whole and what we aspire to be, or what we should aspire to be, ethically and morally and artistically as creators. These companies, these billion-dollar companies are setting an example for the rest of the world when they create things, you know, and how they create things, how they express it and give it to us, the consumer, to the fans. You know, you show people, oh, you can just make a shitty trash game, put it out for free, and then just charge people, you know, for every little weapon skin or every little hat that they want to put on or a different color shirt. Yeah, then you can make millions. What kind of lesson is that teaching us? What kind of lesson is that setting? What kind of example is that? It's despicable, you know? So there's a bigger thing going on here. This is for all businesses, right? You know, forget about games. This could be anything. What about car companies, TVs, whatever? Like, oh, we'll just shell out crappy products, and then when people buy them, we'll just, you know, nickel and dime them left and right. No, man, no. I've never supported that, and I never will, and I never will. So, guys, please, I am begging you, I implore you to support honest business practices like this from Team Ninja, from Zelda, from Mario, Nioh, these types of games, Sekiro, Bloodborne, these games that don't try to pull one over on you. They don't try to trick you. They don't try to lie to you and sell you trash and sell you garbage just to make you pay them money. Don't support that stuff. You want to support the good stuff, man. You know? They show what these games do, Sekiro, you know, Zelda, God of War. You know what they show? They show all the suits, the people with the power, that the world actually cherishes passion and pure freedom and freedom of artistic expression above greed. We cherish those things above greed. I mean, let's look at the past 3 years, guys. What's been Game of the Year? EA said, I think in 2016, they're like, single-player games are dead. They destroyed Visceral Games, the guys that made Dead Space, one of my favorite single-player horror games of all time. They destroyed the company. They owned Visceral Games. They just literally, you know, they dismantled the entire company, fired everybody. Because they said single-player games are dead. Nobody wants, our data shows, nobody plays single-player games. Nobody wants single-player games anymore. Well, guess what happened, you guys? 2017 rolls around. What wins Game of the Year? The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, single-player game. 2018 rolls around. What wins? God of War, single-player game. Game of the Year. Oh no, 2019 rolls around. It's gotta be a multiplayer game, right? Nice little trash Fortnite's gonna win, right? Nope. Fuck you. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. From Software. Single-player game, no microtransactions, wins Game of the Year. Do you see a trend here, my friends? Guess what? What do we got coming up? 2020, my friends. What do you think is going to win Game of the Year? Let's see. Let's look at the contenders, in my opinion. Final Fantasy VII Remake. The Last of Us Part 2. Nioh 2. Ghost of Tsushima. Cyberpunk 2077. Doom Eternal. These are the types of games that I think are contenders for Game of the Year. I don't think Halo Infinite's going to come out in time to be on the list. But anyway, what are all 5 of those games, guys? Single-player games. And as far as I'm concerned, none of them have microtransactions or loot boxes in them. You see the trend? And I hope this continues, man. I really do. Single-player, story-driven games will always be with us. Do you know why? It's because it's such a simple psychological point, you guys. Storytelling has been with us for hundreds and thousands of years. As long as we have had language, and even before language, we would draw pictures. The way we evolved and passed time and survived was through storytelling. Stories will never get old. Legends, myths, history, experiences, looking back on things, word of mouth, storytelling, whether it be speaking, writing, drawing, playing games, watching movies, storytelling will be with humanity as long as I can predict into the future. I can just imagine once we're all in space, we leave planet Earth, people are going to be traveling vast distances in space. What are they going to do with their time, man? They're going to be listening to stories, playing games, reading books. Stories, everything's about stories. We want to have a story to tell, a myth, an urban legend, something to cling to, something to hope for, something to think about. Single-player, story-driven games are here to stay. They aren't going anywhere, man. You know, co-op's cool. I'm cool with co-op too. You know, bring it on. But there's got to be story involved. There's got to be awesome mechanics working together, you know, synergistically. But god dang, do I love single-player games, man. And they aren't going anywhere. And then EA realizes this in 2019. They're like, oh, okay, crap, we were wrong. And then they make, you know, they let Respawn make, you know, Jedi Fallen Order. They probably gave him like $10, you know, on the budget to go create this like single player game. Go crank it out, guys, real quick. We need to make a single player game. And it did great. It was a fantastic game, you know, but I guarantee you they gave them nothing, no resources to work with. Because they're all about that Madden and those loot boxes and microtransactions. Oh, it pisses me off so much, man. I want to destroy that. Destroy those practices. All right, so yeah. We must support single-player games, single-player masterpieces like Nioh. Otherwise, the corporate companies are going to continue to make trash, soulless games like Fortnite and all these pay-to-win indie mobile games. Imagine a world, just imagine this for a second, where Sekiro, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, God of War, Spider-Man, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian, Zelda, Doom, BioShock, Mario, Resident Evil, Kingdom Hearts, The Last of Us. Imagine a world where these games didn't exist. Imagine a world, a universe, where all these games are just multiplayer only, pay-to-win loot boxes, microtransactions here, season pass over here. That's what these companies would like. That's what the publishers would like. EA, Activision, oh, they would love that. Guys, thinking about that kind of stuff, man, it makes me sick. It's despicable. It's unethical, immoral, whatever you want to call it. It's horrible. That is not a world that I would want to be a part of. No way. Long live games that are made from passion and truth. Now, to wrap it all up, it's because of all these things and more, all of these facts, that I humbly give Nioh 2 a 9 out of 10. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that once all the DLC is out, the 3 DLC packs, and once it is upgraded on the PS5 in the fall, this game is a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. Truly a masterpiece that is worth your time, your money, and your attention. I promise you. I promise you. And if you are a fan of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, there is Ninja Gaiden. There's literally no reason why you shouldn't be going out and buying this right now. If you have the funds and you're secure in your finances, you should be buying this right now. I promise you. Nioh 1 and Nioh 2. Team Ninja deserves your respect. They deserve your support. I hope you guys can now see what I see. I hope that you understand the beauty that Nioh has, and that it's worth your time and it's worth your love. Team Ninja is so underrated as a company, and it breaks my heart because I truly believe that they are one of the best developers out there. They make some of the quickest, most responsive, beautiful games that I've ever seen. Dead or Alive, Ninja Gaiden, and Nioh. These games are incredible. And they don't get any love, man. And I know there's like a language barrier there, just like with a lot of companies like FromSoft and Nintendo. We got to destroy that language barrier and connect with these companies and really show them our love and show them our support. Because I truly believe that's what brings people together, and that's what motivates them to create even better art in the future and better games. I truly believe it. They're one of the best developers out there. No question about it. No question. They deserve so much more than they are getting. They deserve so much more, man. In a perfect world, FromSoft, Team Ninja, these types of companies, Sony Santa Monica, they would be on the top with hundreds of thousands of viewers on Twitch, and Fortnite should be on the bottom with 200 people watching. That's the reality that should be. But this whole world is freaking twisted, man, I promise you. It's just twisted and it's backwards. Now, just to end this off, I've heard some rumors that Team Ninja wants to create a brand new IP, and I'm all for it, man. A new IP, bring it on. Intellectual property from the guys who brought us Ninja Gaiden, Nioh, and Dead or Alive. Let's go, I'm down. I would love to see where they're going to go next. And I really hope they make a Nioh 3 down the line on the PlayStation 5 as well. Oh my god. Like, that'll be a 10 out of 10, you know? They just add a couple more things. Jeez, forget it. It's over. But I've also heard that they might be working on another title. A franchise that has been asleep along with the Dark Dragon Blade for almost 10 years. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming, my friends. I can just feel it. I can feel it. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's confirmed for me because I just know what's happening just by the way they were talking about it. By the way the Nioh 2 developers, Team Ninja's been responding to requests about it. I know Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming. I can feel it. But until then, unleash your inner darkness and reclaim the light. Thanks for watching. To infinity and beyond.